What's up, mate? Welcome to another episode of Marc Jeffrey Presents. It is about 7 o'clock in the evening. It is Thursday the 15th of June, and I thought I would get out and have a little bit of a walk and take you to a place called Gold Diggings. Now, Gold Diggings is situated in south East Cornwall up on Bodmin Moor at a place called, and you're going to love this, right, Minions. So I found this quarry called Gold Diggings in the early 90s. Me and a couple of my mates went out for a walk one Saturday afternoon, and a strange thing occurred here. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a bit. But it's a nice evening. The temperature's been scorchio now for about a month, and it's beginning to cool down a little bit this evening. So I thought, let's get out and have a walk. So I'm just going to take you with me, if that's all right. That up there, let's see if I can zoom in, is Cheesewring. And the reason why it's called Cheesewring is because if you look on top up there, I'll try and zoom in if I can, there are two or three like standing structures that looks like lumps of cheese, rings of cheese, and I will try and get up there later on if we've got enough time. You alright, mate? You alright? Oh, he spun out a little bit. It's alright, mate. It's alright. I'm the sheep whisperer. I'm fine. You'll be alright. So it's been about 2 weeks now since I've done the Saints Way. Actually, it's about 3 weeks, to be honest with you. And it was a real good experience, to be honest with you. But since then, I have been quite busy doing family things. And I think, you know, it's one of those things that we've got to kind of accept, us guys, isn't it? Is the fact that, you know, majority of us are family men, and you'd probably spend every day of your life out on the moors and on the trails if you could. But it's not as simple as that. You know, we've all got lives to live and stuff, so you've just got to take advantage of the time you can to get out. And I was going to get out this Saturday, to be honest with you, Saturday that's just gone, but I just got home from work and I was freaking tired, mate. I was tired and I was battered. It's been a long week of hot sun, and I just basically come home, sat on the sofa and vegged and watched a few films. So I didn't go out this weekend, and next weekend I'm down the caravan, so I didn't know when I would be able to get out and see you. So because the weather was fantastic, I just thought I'd bring you up to Bodmin Moor and we walk out to Gold Diggings, the quarry, and have a look at that together. But the weather down here in Cornwall has been absolutely amazing. I can't complain. It's been absolutely scorchio. So I just wanted to basically say thank you to all of you that watched me do the Saints Way. It was great to have you with me. If you haven't watched it, part 1 and part 2 of the Saints Way, get over there and check that one out. I really enjoyed doing it, learned a lot from it, and thank you for all the nice comments that you sent me. It was nice to know that you watched it, and I very much appreciate it. And I'm just wondering what to do next, where to go next. There's a couple of items of kit that I'm going to buy that I'd like to try out and share with you. Just gotta go and fricking buy them first. Been a little bit tight-fisted with the money recently, but there you are. I'm just gonna have a little check on my phone a minute, guys, and come back to you and check that I'm actually going the right way. So I'm back in a sec. Yo, mate, do you know the way to gold diggings? That way, is it? All right, mate. Lovely. Cheers, watching you. Absolutely beautiful up here. Totally love it. And that mound of rocks there is gold diggings. So let's follow our snozzes and get there before the sun dies. So it was in about the early 90s, I would say around 91, 92, Saturday afternoon. I had a couple of mates come round. We had been on the old Smokers Pocus, shall we say, and one of the mates decided, shall we go out and have a walk and see if we can find some mushrooms. So I would say it was probably around September sort of time. So we came up to Carradon. We came up to this very little spot that I'm walking to now, and we headed out towards the quarry. And we got to the quarry. There was a film crew here, and we're at the quarry and we're watching this bloke jumping off the top of the quarry. Quite a strange thing. About half an hour later, a young lady came down to us with the film crew and said that we was picked up on camera on the film set. Do we object to being on a music video? No, not at all. On one condition: you tell us who it is. And the young lady said to us, it's a Scottish band, up and coming Scottish band, and they are filming a video. Cut a long story short, the band were Travis. The video was Why Does It Always Rain on Me? And in a second, I'll take you to the very point which I think you will recognise. So anyway, it was here that we were stood, and it was up there that the guy jumped. And if you've seen the video, you will know what I'm talking about. So there we are, guys. Gold diggings quarry behind us, and seems like yesterday that I was here, to be honest with you. It was a very cloudy day, and if you get a chance to get on there and watch the "Why Does It Always Rain on Me" video, when he's jumping off the top of the quarry, have a look. Bottom left down of the screen, you'll see 3 guys there, and it's quite funny because it was a long time ago, and many hocus pocus has been smoked since then. But I can't actually remember who those 2 guys were that were with me that day. I thought it was George, but it was before his time. I thought it was my cousin, my mate Jared, but I don't think it was them. So I got a feeling it was my mate Bobby and Matt. So if Matt and Bobby, if you're watching this, get in contact with me, mate, because I don't know where I can find you now, and tell me that it was you, or it wasn't you, or did I just imagine the whole thing? One thing that has pissed me off today a little bit, and I'm sorry to cuss and swear, but it's the amount of litter. There's a can down there, see it? There was a shoe in the quarry. There's rubbish and a poo bag and a poo bag with poo in it. Now, I don't understand you guys. I really don't. I mean, the majority of us, 90% of us, are really good. But I don't understand why you would let your dog crap and put it in a bag, go to the effort of putting it in a bag, and then just chuck it. Take it home to your little house, put it in the bin, or don't have a dog. This is simple as. Rant over. Cool. There's lots of open shafts around here. Oh, matron. Which kind of reminds me, there's an awesome podcast, you must have seen it, from a guy from Sunderland. It's called the Blot Outdoor Podcast, and him and his mates go off doing stealth camping underneath factories, in woodlands. They just quite recently, he went to his work and hunkered down for the night. It's crazy. He even, once upon a time, there was a new estate being built near Sunderland, and he slept in a garage overnight. And basically he goes, and him and his mates get tanked right up, and he does the world famous Wasky review, and so funny. So head on over to Blot Outdoors. I salute him. Great podcast, guys. Man of my own heart. Good sense of humour. flames. It's Carradon Mast in front of us, and we are on one of the highest parts of Cornwall. We're at the Cheesewring. There's the sun coming down. There in the distance is the quarry, and there is the Cheesewring. What a beautiful place. Right mate, one thing I did want to share with you, if you don't mind, is I've been doing this outdoor stuff now, hiking and wild camping, for about 2 years, but it's been a big thing for me all my life. You know, when I was younger I was in cubs, and I've always been an outdoor kind of guy. But you know, the last 2 years I've got into watching stuff on YouTube. Hayes was the one that got me started in all of this, like, so big up to Hayes. But one thing I have noticed with all of these YouTube channels is it's about, I'd say 90% men that do this stuff. Not to say that there isn't any women out there, because there's some great female YouTubers out there. Karen's Gone Wild, shout out, and to Wild Bear. You know, 2 great female YouTubers there. But what I have noticed through all of this is that there's a lot of men that do this that all suffer from mental health issues, anxiety and stuff like that, and they all say that getting out in the outdoors and doing a bit of wild camping and hiking helps their mental health. And I've been a big promoter of the whole mental health thing now for about 2 years. I do a podcast called the Marc Jeffrey Podcast Show. I do a podcast called Design for Life, which I want to aim towards men's health and losing weight. Like I said, I've got a podcast coming out very soon called Marc Jeffrey Presents, which is basically the podcast version of this. Where am I going here? I don't know, we'll go this way. Anyway, what I'm kind of saying here, guys, is I've been setting up something behind the scenes called the Man Cave. It is a web page, and you can go and find it at www.themarcjeffrey.com, and it's a little cluster of podcasts that I've put together. So if you enjoy this stuff that I do, and you'd like to check out a little bit more of my stuff, head on over to www.themarcjeffrey.com, come to the Man Cave, see what I'm all about, join my newsletter, and if you really enjoy what I'm doing, buy me a 0% beer, and I will give you a shout out on the next episode, and we can have a drink together. But what I'm trying to get at here, guys, is that, you know, a lot of us do suffer from mental health and anxiety problems, and getting outdoors is so important to us, and talking is so important. And don't feel that you have to stay at home watching these YouTube videos and that you've got nobody to talk to, because there's always people out there to talk to. So if ever you've got any problems, hook me up, jaff10@hotmail.com, or just drop me a message on my Instagram page. Don't ever feel that you've got nobody to talk to.